Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you develop a marketable skill, chase that skill with a good work ethic, always go the extra mile, develop people and communication skills, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country. A big thank you to about 569 people that have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I would certainly appreciate it. They have a really neat guy here. Got to meet him this past year. He was coaching over at Red Lion High School with the girls tennis, as I was coaching over at Northeastern with our girls tennis, and girls tennis for him as well. Basically, real good guy. Very impressed with him. He's got a lot of great promise, going forward. I think he's in the right career because he does very, very well with his players there. And his name is Emil Vyskocil. And Emil, welcome, and tell us a little about your story.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm originally from New York. I'm not even from PA at all. I was born right in the Hudson Valley area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was at Cornwall Central High School. Kind of grew up there all my life. And then somehow, some way, I ended up going to Susquehanna University. I discovered it through kind of a college career person just kind of throwing out colleges, saying Susquehanna was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there and really fell in love with not only the campus, but just PA in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied history, secondary ed. And as I was kind of applying to jobs, the Red Line position opened up. So I was able to get that. And then at college and high school, I played tennis.
Mm-hmm.
I played there, started as a freshman, just coming in new to the sport. I was a late bloomer with it. And then I kind of just fell in love with the sport. So after my college career ended, I just couldn't stay away. So one of my biggest goals was to find a coaching position, and Red Lion had both a history and the coaching position for the girls team.
Sure, sure. Well, and you've done a great job over there, for your first year and everything. You really made some good noise, and definitely do a good job with the kids. Now, would you, Emil, who would you say some of your main role models were as far as getting you involved with tennis in the first place?
Role models, without a doubt, it has to be someone that gave me lessons when I first started was Jason Stokes.
Mm-hmm.
He works at New Windsor Sportsplex, right in the town I was at, and he's been around forever. And just we both hit it off. He was someone that not only taught me the skills on the court, but kind of guided me through life a little bit.
Yeah.
You have your parents, which help a lot, but there's always someone else that gives you a new perspective and can understand different things that go on in your life, while parents can't really address that.
Sure, sure. Well, and obviously, he's got to be very proud of you, that the idea that you're taking this, to the next level as far as getting into coaching yourself.
Yeah, we're still in contact to this day,
Mm-hmm.
even though we're super far apart,
Mm-hmm.
land-wise, but I always text him once in a while. We always catch up. When I'm in the area, I always try to stop by the club, see him, kind of help out with different classes. So even after high school and college, I still keep in contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that's how much he meant to my life.
Sure. Do you think he might be open to doing an interview sometime, Emil?
Yeah, I can ask him.
Bounce it off him, because I'm sure that, once you get it out there and share and tag or whatever, make sure you include him on it. And if he watches it, obviously we'd be certainly interested in doing that. We're always interested in individuals that have turned out to be, key role models for, young people, such as yourself. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. So then you went on to Susquehanna University, and we know you've got quite a character for a coach up there. Tell us a little bit about Susquehanna University and Coach Bob.
Coach Bob, we called him Bobby J. But Coach for at least college was, I believe, a great fit for the program, especially with the guys we got in there who most of us started in high school, and kind of going into college, we weren't used to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say what Coach did was he let us experience that level. He understood that freshman, sophomore year, that there's going to be those highs, but there's also going to be those lows with it.
Sure.
So Kind of similar to Jason Stokes as a role model. He kind of helped guide myself and others through kind of those lows, kind of making us think about tennis differently, how different strategies work against different opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And then even off the court, kind of how to keep yourself fresh, preventing tennis burnout,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So I feel like for coach, his role on the team was super important. And just the people that we get onto our team, I think Bobby J, coach, has been the perfect fit for that.
Sure, sure. And with now, how many years did you play at number one up there at Susquehanna University? Because I know you were there, did a great job.
So I started number one my sophomore year. So
Okay.
my freshman year, we had a huge crew of seniors. It was, I believe, six seniors, and then there's two freshmen, me included,
Mm-hmm.
that came into the team. So a total of eight. And so I was playing number six, number five as a freshman. But once they graduated, I was kind of just thrown up to the top spot there.
Sure.
And I played first singles and doubles all the way up to um, me in my last season,
Mm-hmm.
senior year.
Yeah, and I know we have a couple of mutual acquaintances here with Sam Sidle and Joshua Sanderson. They came in the year after you would have been a sophomore. What do you have to say about those two guys?
I love them. When you're on a tennis team, any sort of team, you create that bond with them. And
Mm-hmm.
we battled with each other. And I would say specifically with Josh, he kind of pushed me to that next level. When I became number one that sophomore year,
Mm-hmm.
it was at a time where I didn't feel like anyone on the team was pushing me to become
Mm-hmm.
better. It was kind of more of a just different players going in and out. But when Josh got onto the team, I felt like it brought that competitive side, that kind of team spirit where we were pushing each other both to be better.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
for Josh, I think without Josh, we wouldn't have gone as far as we did these past few years
Sure.
because
Sure.
how his energy, pushing everyone, myself, a player named Tim Basta, really everyone in the lineup to be
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a great guy, as is Sam Sidle, and Sam's quite a character for sure. Definitely. Yeah. 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 I tell you, he and Josh really speak highly of you, and actually, once you know the Sidles, Dr. Stacy Sidle, she's kind of the old on court, off court mom up there, and her husband Scott. They, I know they travel all over the place to watch you guys. That's for sure.
I know. I mean, it's great having them come and watch the matches.
Mm-hmm.
I know just my freshman year, and Samo did a lot with this, just getting crowds out to watch the team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Samo has that kind of character personality where he can
Sure.
get anyone out to the courts
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come watch. And that's for tennis, especially getting a crowd of students to come out and support and cheer is something that means a lot.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have some pretty good crowds for those guys, and we still do. At our school there at Northeastern, and those kids they're kind of magnets to bring other kids in. And Sam does have an awesome personality that way for sure, definitely. So, what was some of the key life lessons that you think that you learned from tennis?
I would say definitely rolling with the punches,
Uh-huh.
going with the flow of things. Because on tennis, they always talk about, you finish a point and then you forget about it. You
Yeah.
move on to the next one. If you
Mm-hmm.
won it or you ended up losing that point, you have to just move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just played a lot. I mean, as a teacher coming in, it's first year teachers, it's a lot of work.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna have a lot of ups, but you're gonna have a lot of downs too. So I think personally that's probably been the biggest part. That's been helpful. Other than that, I would say just kind of as a student athlete, and especially with tennis, where you have to dedicate so much time
Mm-hmm.
on the court to
Sure.
get that muscle memory, to get that repetition in. Time management. I was surprised how much tennis really managed my time a bit. Going from classes, doing work now. I feel like that's helped me greatly,
Mm-hmm.
just in general.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have much slack time, that's for sure. I was a collegiate wrestler, and it was just one of those things where you had to get the work done. That's for sure, because you didn't have unlimited time. That's for sure. No question. As far as advice for young upcomers, Emil, what advice would you give, the up and coming tennis player or student athlete, regardless of the sport?
I would say patience,
Hmm.
especially if you're starting the sport new. It's tennis is probably one of the most difficult sports to actually pick up
Hmm.
and get down. There's how I teach and how I was taught was when you're in your lesson, you're not worried about losing a point
Hmm.
or missing the ball, hitting it out, or hitting it into the net. It's about that patience of practicing that technique, practicing that pattern over and over again. Because eventually you're gonna get it. It's
Sure.
just it takes time. There's not what I tell my players that there's not one magic pill I can give them and you're gonna play like Nadal or Federer.
Mhm. Right.
It takes time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely correct. Emil, this has been great. Do you have any other last second thoughts here? And can you hang after we get finished here?
Yeah, I would say just for coaches, new coaches coming in too, take the time to really get to know your students
Hmm.
or get to know your players. It makes a lot. It makes practices. It makes games a lot easier. Going into coaching, I thought I knew it all. I thought that I could connect with the girls real easily and that they would understand everything I said. But you gotta remember, each player is different.
Hmm.
So just being able to use different techniques, knowing what works for some players and what that doesn't work for other players, I think is a huge thing.
Sure. Sure. No, that's I couldn't agree with you more for sure. Well, this has been wonderful. So please hang for a minute or so. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.